Hey everybody, Clinton here, and welcome to the Acumen Connections YouTube page. Today's video is going to be a quick crash course tutorial on how to use Adobe Premiere if you're a first-time user. So with that said, let's get into it. Now that we have Adobe Premiere open, let's get into it. Right now I'm using the Learning Workspace, and it's pretty straightforward and a pretty good option for those who are just now getting started using Adobe Premiere. How you choose that workspace is you go to Window, you go to Workspaces, and then you just choose Learning. So with that said, let's take a look at what we have here. Over here we have the project panel. This is where all your video files are going to end up when you import them into Premiere. And if you're wondering how you import videos into Premiere, you simply just go to File, you click Import, and then you'll just go to wherever your video files are on your computer or laptop and select them and upload them into Premiere, and they'll end up here. Now over here we have the timeline. This will appear as soon as you drag a video clip onto it. Let's take a look at what we have here. So before I forget, I want to point out that you start off with about 3 or 4 video tracks. You see where these eyes are? These are your tracks for video. And where these microphones are, these are your tracks for audio. And you can always add more tracks depending on how big your project is going to be and how complex you're going to be arranging and organizing your video clips. You have 2 time codes. There's one here and one here. And if you move this blue line, what I'm doing right now is called video scrubbing. And it's a real nice way of being in control when you're going through your footage. You know, you can go forwards and backwards, and you're able to just play through the footage without having to push the play button, then stopping, push the play button, then stopping, or hitting the rewind button or anything like that. So pretty nice way of going through your footage. Over here you have your audio meter, so this helps you to know how loud or how soft your volume is for the clip on your timeline. Now, it's important to note that this monitor is your live monitor. This is the monitor that is going to be showing all the footage that's on your timeline. This is going to be your main monitor. It's very opposite of this monitor that I'm about to show you guys right now. This monitor is the source monitor. Let me just click on this video clip right here and drag it up here. So this is your source monitor. This is where you can review a video file before you send it on over into your timeline. It helps with keeping it all organized and less clutter. And you can also do some editing in this monitor. People will typically play through the footage, mark an in point, then mark an out point, and the space between those points, they'll insert the footage into the timeline. There'll be a future video covering that in more depth. Now, if you come here, you have your tools panel, and there's a lot of different tools. Most of them have a little arrow on the bottom corner. If you click that, it expands and shows you more tools. Now, to be honest, when you start using Premiere, you're probably going to just be sticking to the selection tool, which is the default tool, and the razor tool. The razor tool is what allows you to make editing cuts on the timeline with the footage that's on your timeline. You see what I'm doing right here? I'm using the razor tool and I'm making just numerous different cuts. And if you look closely, there's a gray line that follows the razor tool, and you're able to just keep making cuts and you're knowing where those cuts are going to be. And if you want to get rid of some footage, you would just select it, delete it. See, like right here. But you want to be careful. You want to make sure that these cut up pieces are touching each other and connected. Otherwise, you're going to have an empty space. And you see right there, here you have footage, nothing, footage. So you always want to make sure that everything is connected. I think that's about it. This is just a rough, quick overview on where everything's at in Premiere, like the basics, the real fundamental stuff that you probably need to know when you're getting started. Now, if you liked the video and you found it helpful, make sure to like and subscribe, and be sure to stay tuned for future content. With that said, see you guys next time.